Hey, how you doing? You good? We are too. As much as we can be. On our play for this week, Marvel Rivals continues to dominate on Steam, all thanks to that Sue skin. Mhm. Microsoft is bringing a surprise to their first developer direct of 2025, and PlayStation/Bungie might be redefining what Gummy Bears means to gamers. All this and more on Season 9, Episode 2 of Press X Start Gamers Digest. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka Mr. Fantastic with them hands. I am joined by.
Sean MF Ross,
What does the MNF stand for?
the swimmer.
Oh, okay. Look at this man. Now you know who we are. Press X. What? Actually, no. What does that mean?
No, okay. So I played Marvel Rivals the other day, and I was playing.
Okay.
I tried playing as Jeff. I didn't know what the hell I was doing quite right.
Okay. Yeah.
I got off one ult. I kind of threw the team off the objective
stage,
or whatever the hell. Yeah. But then I was called to come watch my child. So my Marvel Rivals adventure was short lived, but I was having fun. I just need to play with the actual people I know. These are randoms.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the. We'll talk more about Marvel Rivals when we talk about Marvel Rivals, because I'll be talking about Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals. That sounds weird in my mouth. Anyways, now I know who we are. Press X Start Gamers Digest is a video podcast show. I need to start saying show. Video podcast sounds like
it's a really big show.
Yeah, right. It sounds way more serious than we are. It's a show that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We're live on YouTube every Sunday. We made it this time. When we can, because life is hard.
Listening to us is easy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, telling a friend about our podcast, about our show, about this video right now, subscribing to this channel, and hitting the notification bell. If you are listening to us and not watching us, so you're digesting us in a podcast format, do the same thing. Tell a friend, tell a person that's next to you right now as you're listening to the show. Tell them about our show and have them subscribe to our show with whatever podcast service they have on their phone or whatever podcast device they got going on. So yeah, that can help us out a lot, and we would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. And if you want, you can join our conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. So that's actually going to be one of the things that I want to push more, is to get more people onto our Discord, because if you don't know, Zuckerberg has essentially striking currently with changing his Facebook and Meta policies and stuff, and that's going to affect Instagram. So Instagram might not be a great place in the future. So I would like for more people to join the Discord, because I think that would be a better place for us to hold conversations and have discussions about games and anime, like what we're doing right now. And our Discord right now is already just really cool. So if you want a place to talk about games, anime, whatever random stuff that comes to your mind, comes to our mind, join our Discord. Again, it is at pressx2start.com/Discord. It'll take you where you need to be. See you there. All right. With that out the way, let us jump into the gaming news. Number one, Marvel Rivals Season 1 player count spikes 34% for a record high. This comes to us from Forbes by way of Paul Tassi, of course. So the reason why this article is even on this on our docket is because I just wanted to see, like, what is Marvel Rivals at with the whole Season 1 drop? And I saw the number and I was just like, oh, that's insane. Is no one reporting on this? And then, of course, I looked it up, and Paul Tassi, he pretty much had it covered. So if you don't know, Marvel Rivals Season 1 dropped, and it essentially did crazy numbers. I'm going to play the actual trailer for Season 1 and then talk about what happened with Season 1. Do that. do that, and then do that. So yes, of course, with these live service games, every season they drop a bunch of new skins, and people, sometimes the skins hit with the audience, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, one skin in particular hit with the audience, and I'm not going to say that the Sue skin is the reason why the player count's so high, but
what?
It probably might. It could definitely be. So in terms of numbers, the 24-hour peak for Marvel Rivals sits at 644,269 players, whereas the launch record was 480,990 players. So, as the article title suggests, that is a 34% jump. And you kind of don't really see that too often. Just to give some comparisons, like the peak for like Call of Duty, that was 480. They didn't even show the skin here. Oh, they didn't show the skin, guys. I'm sorry. You already know what the skin is. It's Sue when she got like taken over by some evil entity or whatever, and her cheeks are just out. Like we talked about the whole Venom cheeks, like her cheeks are just out. And it's like, okay, that's a pretty impressive skin. And of course, people are doing what they do, and they're comparing this skin to like the Concord character designs. And it's just like, okay, I see what you guys are doing here, but at the same time, it's like kind of a different thing. Anyways, the game is doing super well. It is very popular. I think right now it is currently sitting at number 2 in terms of, actually, that's just the top most played games on Steam. So, and like it's sitting right under Counter-Strike. So like that's crazy. But not super surprising seeing how like, this game pretty much hit when it needed to, and it did everything it needed to do, and it's just a fun game to play. And we're gonna talk about more about the actual season stuff. So I'll find the actual skin in question when we talk about Marvel Rivals later on. But yes, number 2. Microsoft's first Xbox Developer Direct for 2025 teases a first look at another studio's brand new game. This comes to us from IGN by way of, I think this is Wesley Eanpool. Is this Wesley? Wesley Eanpool. Microsoft has announced the return of its Developer Direct showcase and confirmed what fans can expect to see. Developer Direct is set for, oh my gosh. Okay, so so it's going to happen this Thursday, January 23rd at 10 a.m., 1 p.m. for our time, because our time is the best time. Things we should expect to see there will be South of Midnight, will be Claire Obscure Expedition 33. If you don't know what that game is the kind of Persona-ish looking turn-based games where like people die at like a certain age or whatever, and there's like this mysterious looking lady that has like
the summary. You suck at this. The summary of it is you're leading members of an expedition on their quest to destroy the paintress so that she can never paint death again.
That's exactly what I said. Which is exactly more
spot
words.
Spot on. You're right.
And then they're also going to be showing Doom: The Dark Ages. And then Microsoft also teased that it will visit a surprise location to see another brand new studio. Nope, another studio's brand new game. So this is interesting because the first thing that a lot of people mention is like, oh, Avowed is not in here, and Avowed's going to be coming out. Like, that's like the next big Xbox game. So it's like, they're not going to show that. That's kind of strange. Amen. But like it is a thing of like Xbox has always been kind of weird with like marketing their games, especially the games that are coming out.
They're trying to do it their way. They're not going to be like Sony, have directs right before games come out to pump up the hype and get good sales and all that shit. They're going to drop a tweet.
They're always looking ahead. Never in front of them. They're always looking ahead. Anyways, so yeah, this mystery game It's interesting that because Microsoft is so big now that it's literally like it could be anything. Like I heard some people talk about maybe it's like a uh oh man, Psychonauts. I don't know why that escaped me. So maybe it could be like a small Psychonauts game or something because we haven't seen anything from that game or from that studio from a very long time. But like it could literally be anything. So that's one of those things where the fact that they aren't naming the studio, they're just saying that it's a surprise. It might be a small thing or it could be a big thing. Again,
I mean, naming the studio would give away the surprise more likely. So
that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. So yeah, do you have any
now you
thoughts on
know.
this?
No, I don't. They have yet to show me something that I care about. The thing I did care.
Yeah,
It's all coming to place. What?
that's what I was gonna get into. Like we actually have a story where it's just like, there's rumors that I'm just gonna go ahead and just read off now, so we don't have to read it off later. There are rumors that the Nintendo Switch 2, also PS5, will be getting Halo and Halo, the Halo remake
Yeah.
in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And then there's also rumors on top of that Gears the Gears collection might be a part of that package that's going to be going multi-platform as well. So, as Sean said,
You
like,
want to play those? You excited? You excited for those? You want to?
no,
You want to dig into
not at all.
Gears?
No,
You want to use
like
your
literally
chainsaw
only
gun? You
game
want
the chainsaw, right? The only game that's really appealing to me
to?
is South of Midnight because I think that the art style of that looks really cool. So I would like to see how that plays. I'd see more of how that plays because they showed us a gameplay snippet during Summer Game Fest. But yeah, like I played Halo before. I don't really have the urge to go back to Halo. Gears never really appealed to me. I feel like I don't have enough testosterone for that game.
Go to Costco.
Right, right. So yeah, it's just like, all right, we'll see. Yeah, other than that, I do want to see what the developer direct is because, for example, the Claire Expedition 33 or whatever, that game looked really interesting to me. That game already is multi-platform, and I was kind of
Yeah.
planning on checking it out. Now, especially after playing Metaphor Fantasio, it's like, okay, turn-based RPGs I can deal with. I still need to play Yakuza. I know, Sean.
Yeah. That's fine.
I will.
That's
I
fine.
promise I will.
We're not
And
married.
then but then there's like Doom Dark Ages, which Doom is Doom. This one looks cool. I haven't played the other ones, and I do want to play the other ones. I know Doom is Doom. Doom is also good. You got anything?
Um, nah, man. I mean, I guess we'll see what comes out, and then it'll come to PS5 in a year
Yeah,
or
yeah,
less.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty much.
Maybe they'll
And then
start doing
another.
like simultaneous releases where you got to pay for it on PS5 and it's free on Game
Free on Game
Pass.
Pass.
That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely
Free.
see them doing that. Right. And the other thing to know is that like this year with them announcing the developer direct follows a trend of them having the first kind of games presentation for the year because they did the same thing last year, and that was the first thing that the first presentation of the year. So that's cool. If they can keep that up, that'd be like a nice little start of the year. The other thing, the part B of this is that there was a rumor saying that Xbox next gen console is a 2026 release and called Xbox Prime from Insider Gaming by way of this is Tom Henderson. So this is
They're gonna
interesting.
try it again.
This
Go
is interesting
ahead. Go ahead.
because
Go ahead.
yeah, because
Go
like
ahead.
we know Sarah Bond said that they are still working on consoles and that the next console is going to be like their biggest tech leap, whatever. And that was back in like 2023 or 2022, maybe 2023, I think.
There are no more big tech leaps.
There's
That's
not. There's really not. It's not. It's just AI. It's just figuring out how to like cheat
unless
stuff
it's
with
straight
AI.
up. The next biggest leap was probably VR, and then after that is straight up like holodeck technology or some shit like that
Yeah,
with
and
smell-o-vision or something. I don't know.
speaking of television, we're not gonna talk about it, but yes, I am aware that Sony patented the whole
Mhm.
smello stuff for PlayStation.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah. So the whole tech leap thing, what I think, and like I've heard this from other people as well, is just like it seems that they're they might be finagling like language to basically say that if they can make a more powerful like Steam Deck or like Switch where it can dock into the dock, and then like you have the whole TV setup and that can run 4K, and then you have handheld, the handheld can run 1080. That would be a big tech leap, and you could probably do that with some kind of AI stuffs. I don't know, but like that's kind of like the only place that can really work with. And then we do know that Phil has come out and said that they are working on a handheld, and that is something that they are pushing forward. So
Mhm.
Xbox Prime, that kind of feels
Listen,
like
it better not be a 2026 release. We've seen 2 companies try to do this and jump the gun to release ahead of Sony. The last time Microsoft did it, we had the Xbox 360. That went bad for them. I don't I wonder what the percentage of 360s that had the red ring of death. Like,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, yeah,
granted, I don't think that would happen again, but like,
yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
and then you had Sega with the Dreamcast. Came out a whole year before the PS2.
Oh, yeah,
It was a great system, but people waited for the PS2 to come out. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I hope they don't
yeah.
jump the gun like that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because like the 360 was super popular because it came out before the PS3, but it did
Mhm.
suffer from the red ring of death, and that was a stain on the Xbox reputation just because of how like uh just how much that was just out there, and everyone was just kind of suffering from it. But yeah, this is one of the things where it's like I'm kind of just confused about how to deal with Xbox and how to like think of them because
Mhm.
they they have exclusives. They have time exclusives. They are flirting with the idea, maybe actually doing the whole thing of like putting their big titles on multi-platform stuff or on all the consoles or whatever. But then they're also making consoles, but then they're also saying that everything is an Xbox. And it's just like, you guys are doing like literally everything. You're
Mixed
doing
messaging.
everything. Yeah. And it's just like,
Well, I mean, that's doable because if everything is like a streaming platform, they can still give you the best experience on a, home console hardware. So I mean, while
that
it
part I
is
get.
ambitious, I guess we gotta let it all pan out.
Yeah. Like I think my main thing is just that yes, everything is an Xbox, but if you have this console, it's like, why would I buy this console when you just told me everything's an Xbox? Like this computer that I just bought is an Xbox. I'm just gonna play my games on that. And so it's just like
Um, they may
my
make more
PC is an
money off
Xbox.
of recurring, um, subscription money versus actually. I mean, we already know selling the consoles is at a loss.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
they still
exactly.
make
Yeah.
that for the dedicated consumer who wants a home console, but if they can offload the hardware aspect on the consumer and just have back-end streaming, they can spin up virtual servers and all that good stuff. I can see where that would be more profitable. I can see where
Yeah.
the road to profit is with that. So, I mean,
Right.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. And then the next thing on this is just that when do you think we would see this? I would imagine if they are, yeah, we probably see something like later this year if they plan on dropping it next or yeah
26.
next year because this is 2025 now. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Number 3, another rumor. PlayStation could be reviving deep cut old IPs. This comes to us from Game Rant by way of
Bring back Gex. I remember Gex.
Yes. This comes to us by Varji Batangar.
Viraj Bhatnagar.
Okay. Ooh. Better you say that than me. All right. So PlayStation is apparently working on reviving at least a couple of classic IPs, as per a credible insider. The classic revivals are apparently based on deep cut PlayStation IPs and may be smaller in scope than the platform holder's usual AAA projects. It remains to be seen whether these PlayStation reveals will materialize as remasters, remakes, or entirely new franchise entries. Okay, first up, I totally hope this is not a rumor. I hope this is what PlayStation is actually doing, because I think this is a great idea. This is something that they should have been doing a very long time. And I think if this move is true, I think this is the official end to the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation, where he was 10 toes down on AAA IP being the only thing PlayStation putting out, and then everything else, all the other aspects of PlayStation being covered by like third-party exclusives.
I miss the experimental phase where games didn't cost all that much and they were just putting out everything and seeing what stuck. Like, I'm looking through the
PlayStation
first
2.
party stuff. Not even at PS1. Like, I'm looking at like Battle
Yeah,
Arena
yeah,
Descendant,
yeah.
Destruction
Brave Fencer
Derby.
Musashi.
That wasn't was that first party?
I thought it was
I
first
don't
party to
know.
me. I only had it on PlayStation.
Oh, fool. Um, mm, I don't know. I don't
But
know.
yeah, I
Bring
think
back Twisted Metal, goddammit.
that Twisted Metal is in such a weird place because it had that Peacock show that did pretty
That was
good.
actually pretty good. I watched it. That
Yeah,
was the fans.
yeah. And then they were supposed to be working on a Twisted Metal game, but it was supposed to be from the developers who worked on Destruction All Stars. That
Mhm.
game was a wash. So I think PlayStation moved it from them to another studio, and that studio also did was Deviation Games that was working on that? I don't know. Another studio was also working on Twist Metal game, and that just kind of fell through. So I don't know where that game is, where that IP is. Your camera is frozen. Can you see?
Yeah, I'll fix it. Let me figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
At least it froze on a very flattering. Oh.
Damn
I
beautiful.
lost
Oh, let
my
me see.
partner. Oh. Still there.
No.
Okay, I'll continue talking while you're trying to figure that out. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'll switch to this one now.
Um. Okay. So yeah, this seems the reasoning for this seems to be just because of how big of a hit Astrobot was, and
Mhm.
them actually listening to the audience and understanding, like, oh, you guys wanted us to like go back to our old IP. Oh, cool, good to know.
SOB.
We'll think of that. Right. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's not too much to be said about this other than the fact that, of the headline, just for the fact that we don't know what they're going to do. This still hasn't been confirmed. I imagine we'd probably see some confirmation of this in a PlayStation, like maybe showcase, maybe state of play. I feel like we'll probably get something from PlayStation before
Yeah.
March. Yeah.
I'm just looking at all these stuff, and a lot of it was like co-published with other
Yeah.
companies, like Crash, of course. Universal
Hmm.
owned some of that. That's unfortunate. Kingsfield, that's from software. That's the original Souls-like game.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm really wondering what the hell they're gonna pull from.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel like if they are smart,
Mhm.
they would probably start with the IP that was an Astrobot and kind of work off from there, because they already know that those, at least those, got like a hit, like the Ape Escape stuff that got a hit from people. The other IPs, I am blanking. That is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so the IPs from Astrobot. If you play that game, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, go play Astrobot. It is a great game. So yeah, there's that. And then number 4, exclusive details on Bungie's MOBA-Smash Brother hybrid Gummy Bears under new PlayStation Studio. This comes to us from the GamePost. Oh boy. Okay, from Zuhad Ali. Okay, so Gummy Bears is a project that was this is the project name for this game. We heard about it during the like Bungie stuff. I think that's the first time we heard about it. Anyways, we've heard about this game. I think we first heard about it last year. I think it was last year, not 2022. Nope, wait. Last year, not 2023. I don't know what year I'm in still. So yes. So they have this whole write-up on what this is. I'm just going to drop down to the bottom just to get to the key details, because we don't need all the fluff. So what Gummy Bears is, it is a PvP team-based competitive game. While fundamentally a MOBA, the game Smash Brothers influence means it feels distinct from other entries in the genre, falling off maps and replacing health bar eliminations. So they're replacing the health bar eliminations with percentage-based damage, so just like Smash Brothers. So once you get to a certain percentage, you're more likely to be knocked off the stage. There is just concept art. There's no video of this game so far, so we don't even know what this looks like. The whole Smash Brothers elimination thing, put in the perspective of MOBA, feels kind of weird. I think that's the point, to make something new. So there's gonna be multiple game modes that are planned. Gummy Bears is described as having a lo-fi and cozy vibes, a sharp departure from Bungie's usual dramatic, high-stakes sci-fi worlds, which I think is cool. I think, at least for me, it depends on what are the stakes in the games that we're playing and like how deep is the gameplay. But again, I don't really know. I'm not much of a MOBA player, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, is this game gonna play like Dota? Because I've never played Dota. Is it gonna play like League of Legends, which I think is a MOBA? I've never played League of Legends. I don't know. So yeah, the project has been praised internally as Bungie's most fun project out of incubation, which is high praise, I guess.
I mean,
the game is
they say nice things about
intern. Yeah, right. Also, I guess the only other games they can compare to is Marathon and Destiny, which are both shooters. So
I'm hearing Gummy Bears and I'm thinking Gummy Bears. They need to choose a different name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
I'm flashing back to the show, like,
yeah.
How would that work? But
okay. The game is targeting a younger demographic with vibrant, colorful visuals. Expect a variety of roles, including support, attack, and defense classes. Gummy Bears has been in development for at least 3 years. So that last part, I think, is really actually interesting. I think so. I know we are supposed to get some kind of beta test or something for Marathon, which is coming out from Bungie. And if this game's been in development for 3 years, it's probably ready for some kind of limelight, for some kind of test, or at least something.
Take offense to them saying colorful games are targeted towards younger people. Like what?
Yeah,
just making brown games for older people, like Xbox 360 era, like.
Because us old folks, we can't see much color. You know what I mean?
And when our stuff whatever realistic and gritty, silly as shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder if Bungie is going to show us both Gummy Bears and Marathon this year. I think that'd be crazy. But I mean, I don't see the point of them holding games because I don't think they're in a state to really just hold games. I don't know, but this sounds very interesting. As a person who hasn't really spent much time in a MOBA, this could be something that it's like, oh, I'll try this out. Oh, I actually like this. This is a new thing for me. So I don't know, but yeah, I really do want to see this in action and see what this actually looks like to get a better feel from the words in this article. But we'll see. And another thing is that and this just basically gives us like a little tidbit of the actual gameplay. So there's a patent describes the systems where towers in MOBA games can dramatically move, jump. Towers? Or is that the name of the people, the characters are called towers? Anyways, yeah, so you'd be able to move, jump, dodge attacks, and use special abilities when charged. So yeah, I don't know how much that's going to tell you about the game. But yeah, that's there. All right. Before we get into Call of Duty and how much it costs to make that game, hey, you listen, like this video, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend. I am slowly choking. Hit the notification bell.
Tell a friend that knows CPR. Don't let them choke.
Yeah, exactly. I might even tell you where I live. Might. But you have to come quick because I will probably not survive. Anyways, hey, you, if you're listening to this, please leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're using. Please tell a friend of this podcast you're listening to. Please, please, please. Just do everything else. Just do everything else that we ask you to do. Hey, go on YouTube, find this video, watch some of this video, watch all of this video, and then like the video, and then subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and then hit the notification bell. There you go. And then, of course, you can join our Discord by joining Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. Of course, please join us.
We'd be talking big BS there.
Oh, yes, yes. Only the biggest BSs. Can you say BSs? Is that plural that? Anyways, number 5.
In Trump's America.
Call of Duty's massive development budgets revealed. $700 million for Black Ops Cold War.
Stupid ass game.
This comes to us, which is crazy. This comes to us from GameFile News. GameFile News. GameFile. Just GameFile. By way of Steven Totillo. Call of Duty. Nope. Let me go down. Budgets for big video games are among the most closely guarded secrets in the gaming industry. So it's surprising that late last month, an Activision executive spelled out. Oh man, I need to increase the size of this. Spelled out the development costs for 3 of the games in the company's biggest selling Call of Duty franchise. In a court filing reviewed by GameFile that has not been previously reported, Patrick Kelly, Activision's current head of creative on the development or on the Call of Duty franchise, said that 3 Call of Duty games released between 2015 and 2020 cost $450 to $700 million to make. The disclosed totals are the highest development costs ever reported by a major video game company and tops just about any that have ever leaked and been estimated by analysts. So yeah,
it's about to go crazy, but go ahead.
No, like I mean, everything else is just kind of like icing on
speculative. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, not even speculative. Just like no, I think you're right. Like GTA 6 is probably in at least $1 billion to make because of how long it takes to make, and
they
like
$1 billion a year or less than that. So, I mean, shit.
Yeah. So, and then like again, it just take us back to what 2023 when the whole Insomnia leak revealed that Spider-Man costs 300 something million to make, and they're like, oh my god, why does games cost this much? And it's like, we don't really know how much games cost because they're not telling us. And then it's like, oh, Call of Duty takes like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was 450 million. Modern Warfare 2019 was $640 million. Like, and that was probably their biggest game.
Although
I
it
guess
says
maybe
throughout the game's life cycle, so this just isn't up to release. This is also
the whole
DLC,
process. Okay.
battle
And then
passes,
all the
all that
like
good
little
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, skin
Yeah.
drops, all that good stuff. But we're running into a brick wall of diminishing returns. They say with Black Ops 3, 450 million in development costs, sold 43 million copies. Modern Warfare 2019, 640 million in development costs, 41 million copies sold. Black Ops Cold War, 700 million in development costs, 30 million copies sold. Um,
I would, because I know
Call of
Black
Duty is
Ops Cold.
slowly just, it's gonna peter out eventually. How long?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah,
Yeah, and it's thing of the development costs go up, but like units sold is going down. It's just like, that's a problem.
I
I
mean,
really wish we had Modern Warfare. Well, I guess two, Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops 6 to compare. No, well, we wouldn't have Black Ops
I
6
was gonna
because
say
that's Game Pass.
while they are selling less copies, I think people are way more comfortable just dropping money on battle passes and skins and guns and
Yes,
stupid
yes,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they may be making that money right back. With
yeah.
whales who just feel the need to, I don't know, buy everything.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right because Modern Warfare 2019, I think that was the big push for the whole Call of Duty
Hmm.
launcher and having everything be under one umbrella and like that. I For me at least, that was the big like battle pass push, and it's like after that, I think the 30 million sold for Black Ops Cold War. I think that's actually an outlier just because I don't think nope. I am thinking of the am I thinking of Cold War? I know one of the Call of Duties didn't do well, and that was like one of the older ones. I think it might have been Cold War. But anyways, like
Hmm.
that is a thing of I think you're right in that like they focus more so on the battle pass because they know that is the money they can bank on versus how many people are going to buy the game initially and then having to like get those people to get the people who haven't bought the game to buy the game later on. But yeah, it's that's a lot of money. But then again, I'm not surprised. I think there's a reason why the game studios are pushing for live service games because the elephant in the room is the price tag for these games and they for some reason are hiding how much the games cost
Yep.
to shield us, I guess. I don't know why. I feel like if they were like, "Hey, this game cost us $500 million to make," that's where we're trying to put a battle pass in this thing. At least some people be like,
It
"Okay,
doesn't
that's a
matter
lot
to
of money."
people. It doesn't matter to people.
It
And
I think it
uh,
would though. 'Cause I think that would give context to a lot of the push that the developers are making. And it's just like because we don't get the other side of it, it is just like, oh, they're just being money hungry or whatever. It's just like part of it is that, but the other part of it is like this is super expensive to make.
I don't know, man. I doubt that.
Mm,
Let me see.
mm.
What's Bobby Kotick's annual salary before he got kicked out? Like
Oh, probably a ton.
150.
Oh yeah. It probably cost 700 million to make because he wanted to make 30 million himself, and
Yeah,
then
it's
everybody else
saying
could do whatever.
826,000. That was in 2021, but they get stock options and they
Oh,
don't pay taxes and all
yeah, yeah.
wild stuff. Like
I feel like that just might be part of his
he's the
salary.
number one highest uh
I'm not surprised there.
gaming CEO. Total compensation 375 million. Good God.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot.
But just to keep
Yeah.
along the lines of money, number 6, Xbox games in Game Pass can lose 80% of premium sales. It's claim. This comes to us from VGC by way of, I believe, Jordan Middler. Yes. So Xbox or 80% is kind of crazy, but we kind of knew that they're taking some cut by putting these games on Game Pass because Game Pass is just a cheaper option. So that is going to cut out sales from a game.
Yeah.
So the stat, the 80%, is essentially coming to us from Christopher Dring, who is called a business journalist. He actually was one of the like higher ups at GameIndustry.biz, which is a big gaming website that we also pull news from. He left. Him and another guy left like the 1st of January or whatever. But basically, the quote is anecdotally, games that are in Game Pass can expect to lose around 80% of its expected premium sales on Xbox, Dring wrote. That's the figure that gets thrown around. It's less if the game is a big mainstream release, but generally, look at how low Hellblade 2 charted, or where Indiana Jones came, or even Starfield. Game Pass clearly hurt sales of those titles on Xbox. And again, we kind of know this because like that's the whole point. Like they're trading the initial sales to get people on the subscription for the long-term revenue. So it's like, yeah, although 80% is a lot. That's a lot of money.
I mean, I can see where it may be advantageous to take a loss when spending money to get people on the platform.
Yeah,
The difference is well, we don't know the budget of a lot of these games compared to, and when I'm saying this, I'm thinking of stuff like Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max. Like they're spending big bucks to make original shows to get eyeballs on their platform.
Yeah, and then I do want to add this other quote is that but if it's a game on multi-platform, it can be beneficial. That surge in players on Xbox can have a strong impact on sales on PlayStation, for instance. So basically, what they're saying is that if they put their game on Game Pass, but it's a multi-platform game, that could get a bunch of people on the game through Game Pass, which they're taking a loss. But that whole talk, the whole people talking up the game, saying, "Oh, this is a good game," that could get people on other consoles to buy into that game. So that could work in terms of balancing out the amount of money that they're losing because they're actually getting essentially press from the game from the players playing the game. But again, I feel like that to rely on that, I don't know if that's the move. But again, I'm not a developer, so I don't know. I'm not in these business meetings making the deals and saying yes to the price. It's yeah. And then on top of that, like, just to get back to what you're saying, like this is a subscription thing, and in order to keep the subscription going, you have to have these games,
Fresh
sometimes big,
content,
sometimes
basically. Yeah.
yeah. So you're just paying money out the wazoo every quarter to get these games on the subscription and also to keep the games on the subscription. It's just like
The sucky thing with it is though, with a movie, you're gonna see all of the movie. Some people may start the game, not finish it, or they're just on that game for granted, I guess if a person spends time, I don't know how the math works on this. If you spend time on just 1 or 2 games for the entire year, even though you have a subscription, like, is that more advantageous for Xbox? I'm not sure how they do it.
yeah.
But
It's
it
weird because it's like what do they define as value? Is it just like the initial players jumping into the game, or is it like more of a long-term thing, like how much people are actually spending in the games?
it feels like wasted effort, though, if you're putting stuff on Game Pass and people aren't seeing all of your game because they don't value it because they're not actually spending money directly on the game,
Yeah.
if that
They
makes
can just
sense.
check in.
Like,
Check in,
yeah, they
check
can
out.
check in, this game is shit, check right back out. I don't know, it's kinda rough.
Yeah. 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 Uh yeah. So number 7. Pirate Yakuza is so weird and wacky. Sega forced to clarify. Yes, this game is canon. So I brought this in here because RGG had a showcase. Not really. It's like a showcase. I guess you call it a showcase. A
Direct.
showcase.
Yeah.
A direct style in terms of like for Pirate Yakuza, and I would say watch it. I think it's a really good showing of essentially what you're gonna be doing in that game.
I
And
don't think it was extreme or wacky. It is par for the
no,
course.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's that thing of for people who aren't familiar with
I've never
Yakuza
seen it.
games,
Yeah.
yeah, they look at them like, what is going on in this game? Like how is this a real thing? But it's just like yeah, that's kind of just what
There
Yakuza
was a
did or like a
mission
Dragon. Yeah.
in Yakuza 3 where you had a guy who gave you a cell phone because the games are normally like contemporary to when they were released. Like it's normally set in the time
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. And he
Mm-hmm.
gave you a cell phone to get like the best snaps. And you're supposed to be like catching moments in the game of like I think the first moment you caught was like somebody on a scooter and they slipped over a banana peel and they did like a Tony Hawk flip over like a grandma and wild stuff. And then another one was like you were on a rooftop and there was this panty bandit with like some panties over his head and he was I think peeping through a girl's window or he just stole somebody's panties and he was like
Mm-hmm.
walking on a clothesline like a cat burglar, fell off the clothesline, all the panties went flying up in the air. Like he fell to the ground. Like the Pirates Yakuza isn't wacky. This is par for the course. I think in
Yeah, no,
Yakuza Zero, you were helping a dominatrix find her confidence. Um, Jordan has talked about these things before. Like I don't know. They shouldn't have had to clarify that it was a canon, basically.
yeah, no, I'm playing the trailer right now or the
Mhm.
presentation they showed,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like no, like you're completely right because like again, hey, I haven't played any Yakuza games other than Like a Dragon, like the first Like a Dragon that came out,
yeah. Mhm.
and I will never forget there was this one mission that I played where this lady was bringing milk to this thing and we were hearing a baby cry and we were just like oh she must be like feeding this baby or whatever and we follow her up the room and we get into the room and it's grown man wearing diapers and I'm just like what is happening here like what
That
did I
was a
walk
gang
into.
boss, and he had his gang participating in his proclivities. And you run into him again, in Infinite Wealth.
Oh my gosh.
The lady is pushing a stroller or whatever the hell you want to call it,
Yeah.
and she loses control, and it goes down an escalator, and you're chasing the stroller all through the town just to realize, oh hey, it's homeboy, I know you. And it's part of a larger sub story. It's
Yeah, oh that's crazy. So yeah, like there I watched this whole presentation. It's like 13 minutes long. There's
mhm.
so much that is packed into this. It's just like, oh, this is crazy. And so far, everything you've been seeing has just been the like melee combat, right?
Yeah.
And then there is the whole ship based combat, and it's just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump to it.
I haven't watched much because I already know I'm gonna get it. It's already pre-ordered.
Oh wow, okay, fine with
Like
me.
I I know what I'm getting. It's like
True,
when
yeah,
you getting a GTA, you know what you're getting. Forza, you know what you're getting.
yeah.
I'm all for
And
it. Bring it on.
I find it wild that they literally out what skull and
Mhm.
bones without even
Uh,
trying and it's just like
yeah.
this is a DLC and it took Ubisoft generations to make a game that just failed. So it's just like yo like this is just insane. But
Well, I
yeah, the
mean, they
game
didn't really want to make Skull and Bones. They just took
no
the money and was
yeah
just like,
yeah yeah
shit, we really got to deliver this, don't we? But yeah, this looks like if you enjoyed Black Flag,
mhm
this is everything
mhm
but the assassinations.
mhm. Also, your pirate ship gets lasers. I'm not sure if it showed that, but yeah, you get lasers in it, and I'm not even sure. I'm not questioning it. I'm just not questioning it. But yeah, the
Mm,
game just
mm,
looks great. It just looks like it's gonna be a fun time.
wow. Yeah, this looks amazing. Can't wait.
Yeah, like the my only problem is that this
Mhm.
comes out like 2 weeks before Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm just like I don't
They
think I'll
pushed the
be
date
for
up to
both of
give you
them.
time to play it.
I know, I
This
know, I
this
know.
isn't supposed to be a long game. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
supposed to
You
be
know
a
what that
this is supposed to be a shorter game like
yeah.
the man who lost his name.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
little bit bigger, but it's not as big as the normal games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Okay. Yeah,
this is
that
why
could
they
be my
bumped up
saving
the release
grace.
date. Yes, I
Right.
would give it a try.
Right.
And it's of course because it's not turn based, it's faster paced.
Yes. Yeah. So
Give
yeah,
it a try,
that
everybody.
is that is Pirate Yakuza. I don't know, man. The title is long. You know what I'm talking about. We've already seen it. Okay, I'm gonna switch out. All right. Number 8. Genki says it never seen Switch 2. Mockups were based on other leaks. This comes to us from Polygon. So real quick, there has been a ton of Switch 2 rumors, and I've just kind of chosen to ignore them for the most part, just because I feel like there's probably going to be a Switch announcement coming soon, and it's just like I'd rather just wait till we get the official word. But then, like, we got over our break, we got like this like really crazy video from Genki, uh, like showing what appears to be like a Switch 2 device, and like it has like a bunch of stuff that's happening into it, and that kind of set off alarm bells for a lot of people, not just us. So it's just like, okay, what is happening here? Do they actually have a Switch 2 thing? And then apparently during CES, Genki had a 3D printed Switch 2 like mold or something that they apparently were, well, they were saying that was like the Switch 2 but 3D printed. So
So, as Avery would say, the streets are talking, and they're saying
mhm,
they're just covering their ass in front of Nintendo. What they showed is the Switch 2. Allegedly, they told a journalist that a stolen Switch 2 was acquired on the black market. Apparently, they're available on the black market right now in
yeah.
China.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and it's the stupidest thing they could have done in the history of the gaming business. Somebody said publicly proclaiming you're in possession of stolen property is insanely dumb. Nintendo, I think, already visited them with 2 lawyers. They effed around, they're gonna find out
Yeah.
if they are actually in possession of an actual unit.
Yeah, and then I believe Nintendo actually commented on this and said that the stuff that they put out is not official.
Mhm.
So that they didn't say that it's not real, they just said it's not official. And I think that is them saying like you guys did something you were not supposed to, and Nintendo of America is a law firm, and you're about to see what Nintendo of America will do to you. So I that I hope they enjoyed the limelight while they had it because
Mm.
I don't think it's gonna go well for them. Um, so yeah, do we have to actually talk about that? Not really. Not we pretty much talked about everything. Okay, so they're just saying that the confession comes hours after Nintendo shared a statement with CNET Japan saying that they hadn't give Genki early access to any upcoming hardware. So I mean that gets to what you were saying about how they possibly found it and it wasn't given to them formally. Um yeah, so it's yeah, I just want Nintendo to be like, okay guys, here's the Switch 2. This is what it can do. Like just to end all the rumors, let us know when it's coming out. Let us know what games are going to come out so we could just move on with our lives essentially. But no, they're holding out for some reason. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, that's that. Before we end this and wrap this up, let's talk about oh, we gotta talk about our rivals. Yeah, let's just run through the quick hits real quick. So number 9, Nintendo Switch 2 is reportedly getting 2 major Xbox games. The 2 major games, one of them is Halo. The other one is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And then there's also apparently the Gears collection that might be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. It's also to note that there's another rumor on top of this rumor saying that those games are not only coming to Switch 2, but they're coming to PlayStation 5. So that
Yeah, I
would
don't see it. If it does make its way to Nintendo, I don't see how it doesn't make its way to PS5.
exactly, it's
I mean,
multi-platform.
makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing of like, yeah, Halo on PlayStation 5. That was a rumor for a long time now, and that could just be the case. Like, but then again, it makes sense because Xbox did say that there's no red lines for any of their console exclusives, so they told us. Number 10, Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed again, this time by another month. So it'll be coming out in March 20th, on March 20th. And I say keep delaying the game. Get the game as polished as you can. Hopefully, it is not close to the Ghost of Yute release date because we don't know when that's coming out. And jeez, just hope it's not that close to that game. Number 11, Helldivers film is announced. This came to us from Gamatsu, but also this was in CES.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is cool. I think this is a great idea for Helldivers 2. Yeah, I mean, we have Starship Troopers, but we haven't had a Starship Troopers in decades at this point.
Yeah, but I see people saying like, what would be the point because we already have Starship Troopers? Like, are they going to be able to make the same type of satire in film form? What
I
I guess
mean,
that remains to be seen.
yeah, I feel like Starship Troopers. Well, I love Starship Troopers, and I think that movie did a good job of the perspective of like, oh, the military puts on this front of being good, but it's actually bad, and like you guys are just essentially mindless robots killing enemies that you were told are enemies, but you don't actually know like
Doing
what you're
my
doing.
part.
Right, exactly, right. So it's just a thing of just like I think we actually kind of I think especially in this current era that we're about to enter, we might need a movie like that. Just kind of like say, hey guys, remember.
No, because people won't get it. People thought
Hmm.
people are just not realizing the boys are making fun of conservatives. Like, come on,
Oh, I mean,
people don't get satire anymore.
well, they learn eventually. It takes them a while. At least PlayStation can make some money out of them before they learn.
I
But
guess.
yeah, yeah. Number 12, Ghost of Tsushima anime coming from Crunchyroll and PlayStation. This comes from Polygon. This also was in CES, and yeah, it's going to be based off of Ghost of Legends, which is the multiplayer experience, and that deals with the quote unquote legends of the legends
Mhm.
in Ghost of Tsushima. So that's cool. I think they could probably do like an anthology kind of thing where they are talking about the different
Yeah.
people of legends in that world. So that's cool, especially in anime form. Like that should be cool. And then the
Shit.
last thing we have.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say, they also have a Horizon movie coming out. If
Oh
you forgot
yes,
to put
yes,
that
I
on
did
there
forget about that. Yeah.
at
And
some
then
point.
number 13, LG TVs are getting Xbox Cloud Gaming. I don't know why it was so hard to say. This comes from The Verge. So yeah, the TV is going to be able to do Xbox Cloud Gaming. Yes.
Hmm.
I have LG TV, but it's not a new TV, so damn me.
They just got to spill some more water on it.
That's our little secret. That's what's like. I knew it. I knew
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
it. But yeah, that is it for the quick hits. Before we end this show, let us quickly talk about Marvel Rivals season 1. So Sean, you said you played it. Do you want to expand on any of your stuff from what you said before?
I mean, I played the tutorial. I played the character tutorial.
Mhm.
It was interesting. I could see where the fun was. I started out with what the hell did I start out with? I think Star Lord or something. I was getting waxed or
Okay. Yeah.
somebody. I don't remember. I don't know all the characters because I mean, like I said, I spent all of 20 minutes with it. Then I tried Jeff just because I thought he might be easy to play. I
Mm.
think I did a little work with him, but I wasn't understanding like how to actually attack with him. Like what his main attack was doing. So at some point, then I switched to Rocket Raccoon, and I was doing a little bit of work. But at the same time, like I said, I haven't been playing, so I'm just flailing around for the most part. But
Yeah,
I can see where the fun is.
yeah. Well, I mean that like I love the fact that you played the game and was sort of lost but still had fun with it. So that's like
Yeah.
that I think that's really telling because that's a thing of like, we played Concord and I was just like, I don't exactly know what's happening here. Like I have to actually dig down to actually
Concord's
understand
issue was that
that game.
there could be no one-man army, and some people,
Yeah.
the majority of, I want to say, game players like doing that. It required a lot of coordination and teamwork, and if you were
Hmm.
doing that, then you could steamroll the other side. And people just want to get highlight reels for the Twitch to YouTube stream, whatever. Like it wasn't conducive to that. So it was a good game. It just the character design. I'm not even gonna say it sucked. It just didn't appeal to the masses.
Yeah. It was a different approach to character design. And I think that
Hmm.
different approach just didn't work. And, sometimes in design that just happens. Like you have an idea, you think this could work because it's counter to what's out there. And it turns out it doesn't work because it's counter to what's out there. And it's just like, well, that sucks.
I think
Um,
Sony did not want to release it as free to play because it's a first party. Have they ever released something that's free to play?
Not yet, no. And I think you're right because they're scared of losing the money that if it's going to be free to play like that. So yeah, I found the Sue skin, and this is what shook the internet when it released, and it's whatever, I missed it. Anyways, yeah, like her cheeks are out completely, and that essentially I'm using the IGN's first minutes or whatever of gameplay.
Hmm.
So I did play with Sue Storm. I played with Mr. Fantastic. Those are the two new characters to season one, and Sue Storm is a strategist, which is like the support class. Someone mentioned something that like kind of had me thinking like, oh, that's why they call it a strategist and not like support. In that all of the support class characters have the ability to do damage, have the ability to like run on people and like take people
Hmm.
out. But the strategist is that they also heal. So you have to think strategically in terms of, are you doing damage now or are you healing people? And Sue was sort of like an interesting character for me because her her attacks, when she's out of combat for a certain period of time, she'll turn invisible. So it allows her to like roam around, get health or whatever without being seen by people. When she attacks, she becomes invisible. She becomes visible. Her ultimate creates like a cone essentially that heals everyone inside of it, but the enemies or anyone who is outside the cone, they can't see into the cone. So it just looks like everyone's invisible in the cone essentially. Her normal attack, she like shoots like a energy beam and it goes out, or energy ball, it goes out and comes back and it does like two procs of damage. Um, she has a double jump that makes her invisible. She shoots an energy ball like what she just showed that like kind of pulls people in. Then she has the ability to push or pull people, and that's her whole kit. So,
Well, while I was playing it, I could see the analog for some characters versus Overwatch characters too.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
So
oh yeah,
I'm
for sure.
wondering who her counterpart was. While I was playing the Hulk in the tutorial, it felt kind of like a mix of Tracer and something else. No, no, no,
Okay,
not Tracer. Diva.
Diva. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because of the whole like two, yeah, for sure. And then they have like Penny Parker, who actually has like a mech suit like Diva, but plays completely
Okay.
different. But yeah, so like I had a hard time figuring out how to like properly use Sue in this case because it was like, because she's so different from the other strategists. So it was like, okay, I know I'm healing people, but it's like, oh, she also throws a force field that if you're
Hmm.
around the force field, you'll get heals from. But if you back away from it, you don't get any heals. But it also protects in terms of projectiles and stuff. So it is a thing of like learning this character, understanding how the character works, and then being proficient with the character. And then also, it's hard to pick the character because everybody is playing this character with the particular skin in question. So it's just like, all right, well, I guess I'll try next game to like play with her and learn how to play with her.
Mhm.
And then the other character is Mr. Fantastic, who is a duelist, which is a damage dealer class. And he has no projectiles because he's just all hands and all stretchy. Um, the cool thing that someone found out is that you can throw a punch and then wave your cursor like to the left or right, and the punch will actually drag and hit other people as it comes back
Man,
to you. So
sh
it's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
as soon as they make a
And
Luffy,
then
goddamn, I'm in there.
if you want a Luffy character, Sean,
I
that
saw
is
I saw
Mr.
somebody modded it.
Fantastic.
I saw somebody modded Luffy in there, so as soon as they made this shit
Yes.
official, I'm in there like a wizard.
Yeah. Like his kit is very much so like, okay, I can see the Luffy like inspiration in here. Because like one of his attacks, he will throw his arm, hit one person, throw another arm, hit another person, and like slap them together.
Mhm.
And it does like 1 damage, 2 damage, and the slap does like a third pocket damage. And then he has an ability to like sort of like semi-inflate himself, and he can
Mhm.
suck up, I guess he absorbs damage and like bounces damage back to the people or whatever. You can also use that to like bounce like ultimate attacks back at people as well. And then his ultimate is like he basically jumps up in the air, bounces down, does like a cone of damage, jumps back up in the air, bounces down again, does a cone of damage, and does it like 4 times or something. I actually have a clip that I'm gonna post on uh our shorts on IG to no YouTube. It's YouTube Shorts. Yeah, I was doing some work with him. And then he has another attack of once he get enough elasticity, he like bulks up like Luffy's what gear 5? Is that gear 5 where he gets bulk in black? Is that gear 5?
No, that's Gear 4.
Gear 4? Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
But he doesn't get black because of they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't make Mr. Fantastic black. They wouldn't do that. Anyways, I was actually they do have a black suit for him. Anyways, but yeah, I am both characters. I think they are both cool in different ways. And then later on in the season, we're gonna get the Thing and we're gonna get Johnny Storm. So the Thing is gonna be a tank, which is a Vanguard class, and then Johnny Storm I think is also gonna be a duelist, which is a DPS class. So we'll get more on them when they drop. But yeah, I'm loving the characters. I'm loving this game so far. I've been playing this game very much so religiously. So it has me. It has me. I'm one of those people. Marvel Rivals is part of my personality now. I apologize, but I don't apologize. All right. That's it. That's it. That's kind of I think we did all that we need to get done for this episode. All right. Well, this has been another episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, tell a friend, tell the person sitting to the left, to the left and to the right of you. Tell the person sitting behind you and the person in front of you. Matter of fact, just yell it out that you've been listening to Press X to Start Gamers Digest. Just like that. Say it. If you're listening, please leave us a review on Spotify, whatever podcast service you're currently using. Just leave us a review there. We appreciate it. We actually have 5 reviews on Spotify. I recently looked at it. I was like, oh, I want to go read those reviews, but I
6 of
have
them were written
to.
by us.
Shh, it's our little secret. But you have to. What I like is that you have to listen to the podcast to actually leave a review and read the reviews.
Mm.
So at the time, I didn't get a chance to actually read the reviews, but I'm planning on looking at that and see what people says about our content, and then judge them maybe
Things.
depending if they're nice or not. Yeah, and then our Discord. Join our Discord. Press X number 2start.com/Discord. Do it. We're cool. You can be cool with us. Join us. That sounds like a military.
Mom says we're cool.
All right. That is it. Well, you have a good day. You have a good night. You keep playing games. You take care of your peace and have as much fun as you can. You're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. Also, if you are in the LA area or if you're in California area and you're being affected by the fire, we wish you the best. We hope your stuff is not caught by the fire and that you're able to return to your homes peacefully. It sucks. It sucks. Climate change is real, and the people that need to care don't care, and it's super frustrating. But yeah, stay safe and take care.